Hi, my name is Giannina Gibelli, and I'm with It Girl answering the most searched questions about me. This is Search Bar.
Perfect. Okay, great. So,
What is Giannina Gibelli known for? I can definitely be known for being super bleach blonde, hair down to here, running away from my wedding, so as the runaway bride, for a couple of lines, one of which being, you're probably gonna have to bleep this out, motherfucker, listen to me. And something about not being that good in the bedroom to someone else, finding my butterflies, and being Blake Horstmann's fiancé. Love is Blind Season 1, let's be real. How does Giannina pronounce her name? So this is the bane of my existence, honestly. Gianna, Gina, Gina, Jeannie, like literally every single iteration of my name has been uttered except for Giannina or Giannina. Honestly, it just depends on how fast I say it, but yeah. And then close friends and Blake call me G. How did you get cast on Love is Blind? So this was totally by fate. I was at a bar with a couple girlfriends, and I had moved to Atlanta for a previous relationship that took 5.5 years. We broke up. Didn't want to leave Atlanta with a bad taste in my mouth, but I was just like, listen, it's been a year. I'm done. There's no more men for me in the city. I think it's time for me to leave. And I'm telling my girlfriends this at this bar, and my phone at that moment just lights up. And it was this casting director, and she said, hi, I'm casting for so-and-so. So I go outside. She's like, hi, I'm doing a social experiment. You can fall in love with someone without seeing them. And there's a catch. You have a wedding. You don't have to get married, but there's a wedding. And I was like, listen, your timing is divine. I was just telling my girlfriends, I'm done. I'm done with dating. And this is a little weird. And I'm a little weird, so maybe it'll work out. And I went in completely zero expectations, just no one thinking that they weren't gonna pick me at all. And the next day I had the interview, chatted, she asked me, she's like, why do you wanna get married? And I was like, I don't wanna get married. And then that, I guess, was the green light for them. They're like, done, great TV. And I I got sequestered. 10 days later, I was literally the last person they casted. Told my family the day before at a family event while everyone was drunk. So I was like, perfect timing. And my family, my mom and my dad were like, go, do it. My mom was super supportive. She was like, the bus doesn't stop twice. In Spanish is, el autobús no pasa dos veces. So it was just very much take your chance, take your moment, go. And the next day I was sequestered. I didn't have my phone, I didn't have anything. So long story short, that's how I got cast on Love is Blind, through Instagram DM. Did Giannina get engaged on Love is Blind? I did. I got engaged through a man that I'd never met before, and I got engaged without seeing him. It took us 9 days, so I was in the pods for 9 days. And by the time I was done, it felt like I was in there for a year. You're really just in this incubator where you eat, sleep, and live love. And it sounds really bizarre to a lot of people, but once you're in it, you get it. And we were finishing each other's sentences by the end of it, and I had to see him, and in order to see him, you have to get engaged without seeing them, and so we did. So we got engaged, and he told me no at the altar. Oh, speaking of which, when was the last time you spoke to Damian Powers? Is this a shot moment? No, I don't have anything to hide. I want a shot though. These look cute. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. So when After the Altar aired, we were very much broken up. It aired July 31st, 2021. We broke up October 2020, and just kind of, how breakups go. They kind of linger a little bit, and then you're done. So we were done by July 31st. And then I see After the Altar and all the fun things that happened and all the fun conversations that took place. and just told him like, hey, that was very enlightening. And he told me something back, and that's it. That's the last time we ever talked. We don't even follow each other on Instagram. So, but I wish him all the best.
What was that conversation?
It was pretty, all right, I'm gonna take a shot. First shot down. Of course, had to be the Damian question. Does Giannina still watch Love is Blind? Yeah, I do. I watch definitely the first episode, definitely the weddings, and the reunions are fantastic. Not gonna lie, sometimes the middle, I kind of coast a little bit, but the show is definitely still staying true to, you know, what the mission is. And there's some people that are definitely involved and believe in the process. And then there are those that do not. And the people that do get married stay married most of the time. It's a show that I thought no one was ever going to watch when I first did it. And a show that I didn't think would work for anyone else except my crew, my cast, because it was so special and so different that I thought there was no way this can be repeated. And it has, and it's been very successful, and I'm very, very proud of Love is Blind. After Love is Blind, who is the craziest celebrity that slid into your DMs? I had Anita, Brazilian sensation Anita, slide in, and she like wanted to know before the finale. She's like, tell me, like, did you get married? I was like, Anita, watch the finale. She's super funny and cute. And then Hopper from Stranger Things. And he was kind of just like, he wanted to know if it was real. He was like, hey, like, is this actually real? Is it scripted? I think he just couldn't believe that people would actually do this on their own accord. So those were two of my favorite DMs for sure. What was your dating life like after the show? Ooh, you know, me and Damian dated for 2 years after the show. After he told me no at the altar, I dated the man that told me no at the altar. So there you go. And then after we broke up, I had a couple of instances where the men just didn't trust me because I had a platform and because I'd done the show, and they just thought I was just like a sketchy person to date, which I understand, especially if you're like not from that world. And then I kind of started, you know, getting into the circles of like people that have done this before, and just finding the people that I could relate to, and that became really fun, really cute. And I always felt like I was getting closer and closer to the person that I was supposed to be with, just like with the men that I was dating. And I didn't care. I wasn't like looking to find my person. I just wanted to be like carefree. And then when I was like at my full most, you know, woman empowerment, I don't need anybody, I could just be me and be myself, I met the love of my life. So, and then when I met him, I was like, do I even want a boyfriend? Like, do I even want to be in a relationship right now? And, you know, again, being this karmic person, I just went with the universe and went with the flow. And now I'm engaged and I have a baby with him. So you never know when love is around the corner. But yeah, dating after reality TV was weird. Did you watch Blake's Bachelorette season? Oh my God. Yes and no. So I watched Blake's Bachelorette season through my friend. So I'd never watched Bachelor or Bachelorette, but my friend, she was obsessed, and she was in love with Becca's season at the time. And so I watched it with her, you know, some episodes here and there. And I remembered Jason Tartick, like slick back hair, you know, that's who I remembered. But Blake was top 2. And like the man got down on one knee and everything. I just don't remember that part at all. But then after we started dating, I would just YouTube the pieces, because I cannot watch him tell another woman that he loves her, and vice versa. He can't watch me do it either. But you know, I watched his entrance on the Ox. I watched the proposal. And I was literally yelling, I'm already dating Becca. I'm already dating Blake and Becca, so cute. I was already dating Blake, and I'm watching Blake proposed to her, to Becca, and she's saying no, and I'm literally yelling at her. I'm like, you idiot, he's perfect, you should have said yes. Like, it was just so, I was so into it. And also my heart was just breaking for him because he literally just sobbed. He was sobbing and sobbing and sobbing, like into this towel, and he's sweating because they're like in the Maldives and it's like 100 degrees out. He's like a 3-piece suit. It was a little comical. I mean, mine was too. I fell in the mud. But we definitely bonded over those two. We're trauma bonded for life.
Did he watch your Love is Blind season?
No, Blake has not watched my Love is Blind season. And for the same reasons, can't watch me, go through that process of like falling in love with someone else. But he has seen the viral moments. So he knows exactly what they're talking about when someone brings them up. And he's glad that it's not him on the other side. How did Giannina meet Blake Horstmann? After the altar, and he did Bachelor in Paradise, we were very wary about our next project. And I was in the middle of traveling. I packed up all my stuff, put it in a storage unit, left Atlanta, and was just traveling the world. Well, before I did that, I got a call, and I was in the hills of Colombia. My agent calls me, and he goes, challenge show, Canary Islands, and I was like, I can't hear a thing you said, but book it. Like, I'm going. That sounds really fun. It's not a love show. It's not gonna mess with my heart. And he felt the same way too, apparently. When they called him, he's like, you know what? This sounds pretty fun. So we both just said yes on a whim. And 2 weeks later, on the show, and I'm one of the first people on the beach, and Blake walks down, and he's in his little like flowery Hawaiian blue floral shirt, and I go to him, I'm like, why do you look so familiar? Again, because I'd seen him but didn't really remember his season. And he goes, I'm from The Bachelorette. Like, big Blake smile. And I just go, oh no, I like the Bachelor guy. Like, literally instantly we just had this connection. And I actually had a dating show in 2 months after that. So I was just like going with my heart, but like, this is gonna be nothing serious. It would be nice if this was serious, but I can't, like I literally can't. And I went with Blake, made that decision, and now we're together forever. So that's how we met, on All-Star Shore, on the Canary Islands, off the coast of Africa, on a challenge show, not a dating show. So did Giannina and Blake have a baby? I think I've said it a couple times that I have the most lovely, delicious little baby boy. His name is Heath Horstmann. He's the joy of my life, and I'm about to cry in like 2 seconds just talking about him. He's amazing. I was meant to be a mom, and he makes me want like 12 more kids. Why do celebrities tend to name their children unique names? That's a good question. I didn't go with a crazy unique name, so you know what? I'm just gonna take a shot because it's been a while. I don't know why people choose their unique names. What is your best piece of advice for new parents? Do as much as you can to make sure that mom is happy, mom is taken care of. There's a huge load on the mom. The mom carries the baby, and the mom births the baby, and the mom can, feed the baby. And so there's a lot of healing that has to happen for the mom, and a lot of bonding. And so if the mom is happy, everyone else is happy. And I'm tough, but you're gonna break at some point, and you need to be able to pick yourself back up, and everyone else around you should help you put yourself back together. Something that I read that really helped me too was kids are washable. Let them have fun. Let them, get in the dirt. My baby like loves to play with the dog food, and sometimes that would just make me go a little bit nuts, but he's a baby. He's discovering everything, and I've grown so much patience just becoming a mom. And if he wants to play and fall down, as long as you're keeping an eye on them, and you know they're learning and growing, they're gonna be okay. So that's my best piece of advice. When are Giannina and Blake getting married? I don't need to take a shot for this. Why? You can know. So I'm super excited. It's happening summer 2026, and it's gonna be magical and beautiful and everything that I've ever wanted. And Blake is being fantastic about the location, the venue, so many dreams coming true. And I hinted at this a little bit. I found my wedding dress randomly. So everything's going smoothly, and it's not at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form going to be like my Love is Blind wedding at all. So I'm really excited. Is Giannina an actress? This question cracks me up because on Love is Blind, I was in a very otherworldly situation. And when you're put in those situations, you react in ways that situation calls for. If you haven't been on Love is Blind and you think, why is she reacting like that? I would be, doing this or that. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would be reacting how the situation calls. So for me, I had a lot of crazy ups and downs, and I'm just naturally a very dramatic person. So a lot of people thought that I thought I was in a telenovela and I was just acting out my telenovela life and audition or whatever. But honestly, you guys have inspired me, and I would love to try acting. Would you ever have a reality show about your relationship? We've talked about it a lot. We've even been approached about it a couple times. I think it just depends on the network. It depends on the concept behind it. It depends on a lot of things. It depends if I can have input on it. I would need to have the last word on if something gets aired or not. But for now, that's why I'm doing my YouTube channel. So if you had to go on another reality show, which one would it be? I love doing challenge shows, a lot. Raiders, The Challenge, Dancing with the Stars. Stars on Mars still a thing? No. Fun HGTV shows. I'm looking to buy a house. Anyone want to help me with that? Do you believe dating shows work? Yeah, I do. I think that if you go into the experience wanting to actually date someone and wanting to lean into the experience, yes, it can work. Is it still a very, very, very slim chance that it can work? Yeah, just like everything else. Dating itself is super hard, especially if you're just out in the wild doing the apps. To me, it all has the same probability, but at least you've hopefully made that dating pool a little bit smaller with people that are serious. They're pre-vetted, hopefully really well. So you have a really good chance. But dating shows work, especially Love is Blind. You can find the love of your life because you match intellectually, and if you're lucky enough, physically after you meet them. And it makes the whole world of a difference. Just Love is Blind in general has a really good track record of having good marriage to non-marriage ratios. What was your worst experience with a reality star? Cheers. Yeah, it wasn't good. That was good. The experience was bad. What was your worst experience with an influencer? All right, it's shot time. Let's go again. What was your worst experience with a brand? I can't. Well, what was your experience with a brand? Maybe I can do this. Either way, I'm gonna sound like a douche, so. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, I say, so down the hatch. Check the contract before you sign it, that's all I'm saying. What is Blake's worst quality? He's gotten a lot better at it. A lot better. But the man did not like to shower regularly, but now he does. Oh shit. And he's gonna be so mad because he's like, no, I shower now. Well, you didn't before. What is Blake's best quality? First of all, he's the best dad, hands down. He is so supportive, insanely supportive. I'm not ever criticized for things that I've done in the past or do in public currently. And it is so refreshing to have someone be so understanding and supportive. And literally, he's the one that tells me, yeah, babe, you look amazing. Like, post that photo, you know, in your little like underwear set, which is hilarious because I get a lot of DMs being like, does Blake approve this? Does he know that you're posting this? I'm like, he literally told me to post it. And also, we have the same sense of humor. And what's next for Giannina and Blake? Apart from the obvious, getting married, having another couple of babies. We are, not currently, I'm not pregnant, or else I wouldn't be taking shots from Pink Whitney. But we have a couple of festivals that he's playing at. I'm gonna be there, cheering him on, being his certified hype girl, which is my favorite little part-time job that I have. But we have so many fun projects. This year's just turning out to be one of the wildest years for us. So keep an eye out. We have a lot of fun things coming. But apart from like just Blake's job, my job, follow us on YouTube. You'll get to see all the nitty-gritty. That was so much fun. I loved answering all your questions on Search Bar with It Girl. It's been a week. I need another shot. Follow me at Giannina Gibelli on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. See you next time.
And then the last thing is just the outro. Some people like kiss the camera or like throw the cards or whatever you want.
Okay, great. Yeah, do one more.
You were looking at it.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, listen.